Alright everyone, if I'm a little bit breathless, I just had to chop a bunch of ice off the driveway because my dad managed to get stuck in it. It's very funny. Time for Occult Literature video number 216, H.P. Blavatsky, an outline of her life. It's a 46-page work, but it's fairly in-depth for the subject. It's only got one topic. Link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links are to my books, blogs. If you're interested in theosophy, it's a must-read. If you're interested in Blavatsky, it's a must-read. And if you're interested in literature from that era that deals with sort of the then, in vogue theosophy, spiritism, seances sort of stuff, very interesting. It's essentially her entire life from birth, days of the Russian Empire, I believe literally Tsarist Russia at the time, all the way up through her death. She died fairly young of, I believe, influenza, which is like, must have sucked. Lived in several different continents. I think lived or traveled to 4 different continents. Established theosophy. Was essentially the founder, along with Occult, who she knew very early on. It talks about the induction of Besant into the order. Some of her words, all compiled together. It talks about some of these other figures, Sinet and so forth. I've always thought that Blavatsky herself was a very intriguing character. Think what you will about theosophy, or her, even herself, as a spiritist. For example, she was exposed ostensibly as a fraud in her era. Now, this book actually refutes that, and I'm not sure, it could be that this is actually true. This book makes the claim that one of the major pieces of evidence of forgery, which was in her apartment at the time, I believe her London apartment, they found like folding, little panels and stuff, secret doors and compartments. They're saying in this book it's claimed that those actually post-date Blavatsky, like she had left, the new owners put those in, the investigation into her apartment is made, and they just sort of assumed that Blavatsky had been using them. Think what you will about that, though. There were cases where letters that were supposedly mysteriously to have appeared were written by her own hand, where she's like, oh yeah, I received this magical letter from the spirits and stuff, and it didn't happen. As far as theosophy as a philosophy, I've always found it interesting. The concept of reincarnation that it expresses, essentially, I happen to believe in fairly closely, not entirely. For instance, their idea of karma, while extant, is different from the more Eastern tradition. In the Eastern tradition, it's more about some sort of objective judgment. In theirs, it's more of a subjective judgment from the own mind. Basically, your own guilt holds you back with regards to your reincarnatory state. I think that that's interesting. I like theosophy as a topic more now. I've been getting more into Steiner, who I know he leaves theosophy due to internal problems. Yeah, spiritual disagreements over administration with some of the others, I believe with Besant and so forth. Actually ends up leaving, forms anthroposophy. He himself, as a singular individual, probably about as powerful as Blavatsky herself, found schools and all sorts of shit. For a while, it rivals theosophy. It still exists to this day. There are still Steiner schools over in Germany, I think 5 of them. So it's an interesting topic. But yeah, if you're interested in Blavatsky, some of the weird shit that's, told about her life, and it's not entirely clear what's true, what's false, and what's, some sort of happy compromise, maybe a little bit of a titillating half-truth there throughout her life. It's very, very interesting. Again, link in the description of my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links are to my books, blogs. That's about all. Peace out.